Welcome to the Creative War Podcast. This is the podcast where I provide insight on the things I have learned in life and music, share other people's stories, and we create a community to inspire creatives to explore their artistic identity. Today, we got a very special guest. We got Randy Jenkins with us. Y'all give it up for Randy Jenkins in the building. I'm glad to have you on. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm cool, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yes, sir. Just wanted to chop it up with you. We got a chance to talk a couple of weeks ago just about music, life, all that good stuff. Just wanted to bring you on and share my audience with you. Your backstory goes back to a lady prophesied to your mother while you was in her womb, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Said that you were going to be a musician and you were going to do great things. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, I grew up in. We were talking about my upbringing. And I grew up in like an old school Pentecostal apostolic type church, and it was doing a tent revival.
Yeah.
And my mother actually, my mother was actually baptized in the Holy Ghost while she was pregnant with me,
Come on.
and she was she was getting ready to be a part of the tent, and this lady told my dad that the child that she was carrying was going to be sanctified and do something for the Lord musically.
Yeah.
And so they always reminded me of that when I was like a little kid. I would try to do other stuff, quote unquote, worldly music and whatnot. And they'd be like, nope, you got something to do special. The lady, prophets told us that X, Y, and Z about
Yeah.
you. And, we're going to make sure it happens.
Yes, sir. That reminds me of a biblical story. There's plenty of people in the Bible that was prophesied to, and the Lord told them that He had chose them while they were yet in the womb, and that's amazing to know that you were called even in your mother's womb, so to speak.
Yeah.
What is your earliest like memories in terms of music? Like, when did it really start to take off for you, and you knew that you were gifted? You hear of the prophecy, and you know that you're called to do something musically great, but what is the earliest memories where you was like, dang, I'm different, and maybe I am gifted, maybe I am better than my counterpart, so to speak?
Man, that's a tough question. My dad said he noticed I was 18 months. He noticed that I
Mm,
could keep a beat.
yeah,
He noticed that I had, rhythm. But me personally, I didn't realize that I was different
yeah,
until I was like 22.
mm,
Because in church everybody plays.
right.
Everybody can do something. And I got to college and they kicked me out of college.
Ooh,
And yeah, because I never went to class and whatnot. And
yeah,
one of the ladies was like, it's a shame because you're one of the most talented musicians in the entire program,
wow,
not just the jazz department, but the entire music. And that's when I realized, like, oh, wait a minute, I might be different,
yeah,
because there was a lot of dope cats in the music program. And here she is telling me I'm one of the most talented in the entire program.
mm-hmm.
That made me really kind of pay attention. And that's when I really started to pay attention to the music, for real, for real.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's so good. When did you get introduced to sound design and tweaking sounds? Because I've been watching you on Instagram. You're working on some cool little sound packs, and you got a new sound pack out for the Nord and stuff as well. When did
Hmm.
sound design start to, come into play? And you're like, I'm going to tweak my own sound and develop my own path with that, so to speak.
Um, I was in college,
Okay.
producing hip hop, R&B, that kind of thing, and looking for the edge,
Mm-hmm.
and looking for sounds that were different. Back in the late '90s, early 2000s, Rodney Jerkins was,
Yeah.
tearing the scene up, and his
Yep.
sounds were very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
And so that made all of my contemporaries, all of us were looking for the next thing. But all I had at my disposal was like a 1080 and a Proteus 2000,
Yeah.
Kurzweil 2000, Kurzweil 2500. And so I didn't know much about synthesis. So all I knew was just kind of tweaking presets and just kind of running things through effects and trying to get different. So
Yeah.
I would say it started then. And then when I got older, I bought my first analog poly in 2018, and
Mm.
that's when I really started to learn like what synthesis really was, and then it was like on from there.
Question: what is the importance of musicians coming up learning how to the basis of sound design and finding their own sound versus just playing, the straight piano off of a motif or just using a regular analog pad? Because what happens is everyone starts to sound alike because we're playing the same sounds. What do you think is the importance of it?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question, bro.
Yeah,
Because, you know, like you said, everybody's playing the same keyboards, everybody's playing the same sounds, everybody's using the same loops, everybody's using the same drum sound, so everybody sounds the same.
yeah,
Which is weird because God made all of us different,
yeah.
which means we all have an individual voice, and we should be willing to do the research and the hard work, do the homework to develop our own voice.
The
You know what I
homework. I
mean?
love that. Yeah,
You gotta spend the time with the instrument or the, whatever you're working with, the computer program. Spend the time and figure out your own voice. You know what I'm saying? And my tip for that is to find out what you
mm,
like what makes you feel. I make sounds that I would play. I do
yeah,
loops that I would use. I don't
yeah,
think about what other people are going to do necessarily. I first stay true to what I got going on. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Like, how is
And
this
then
going to work with what I got?
what I'm doing. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And if I like it, then I'm good. And hopefully others will like it too. But I'm more concerned about being true to my own voice. If I think if a person is committed to doing the work and really finding out what they like and how to bring that out,
mm-hmm.
then they'll see their voice emerge.
So, and I guess that even goes back to, getting the latest gear and getting the latest keyboards, because I think we as musicians, we're always trying to find that edge. And we think, if I go get the new stage 4, then, I'm going to be able to, I've arrived and, I got this new board and I got new sounds and stuff like that. So I'm going to be good. But the truth is, if you don't learn the board you got, you're probably not going to learn that $6,000 board either. Like, we need
That's
to
exactly right.
maximize what we have before we go looking for other stuff. And I'm preaching to myself because I don't always be maximizing everything I got either.
I mean, you're 100% right, bro. I mean, people buy new gear, and why did we do that? Like, when we don't even know how to work the gear we have,
Yeah.
and getting new gear is not. It'll provide a little bit of an inspiration, but it's
Yes.
not going to make you better.
Yes.
Now, if the inspiration causes you to practice and causes you to dig a little more, that's dope. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And sometimes you need that spark to kind of give you the nudge to get better,
Mm-hmm.
or pursue getting better. But the gear itself is not going to make you better.
I
You know
got
what I
that.
mean? So I try to just, when I buy something, there's a reason why I bought it. And if I
Mm-hmm.
can't justify why I'm buying it, I don't buy it.
That's good. That's wisdom though. That's maturity. Like, that's a certain point in your life where you get to that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm 44,
Yeah.
and thankfully, my wife, she understand. Yo, when we got married, man, we had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the money doesn't come easily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to get her to buy into me being a musician full time, and I had to
Mm.
prove to her that my gift would provide a living for us.
That's good.
And once I did that, it took years to get to that point, but once I was able to get to that point, she was I could spend the money and she won't question.
Yeah, because at
But I
that
still
point it's a
have to
business
respect,
expense.
and she's good with it. She knows
Yeah.
if I buy something, she knows I'm going to make money with it. But at the same time, I have to, even though she trusts me, I have to respect her and be like, nah, my wife is not going to, she might not, she'll let me, but she might not appreciate it. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
That's
So,
good.
like, I make sure that whatever I buy, I can justify it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how much is it? Is it going to make me money? Can I do what this is doing with what I got already? And if the
Yes.
answer is yes, then I don't buy it,
That's good.
because it's like, well, why did I buy? I got two keyboards that do the same thing. Now they may overlap. Some of my keyboards overlap. Some of my doors overlap. But they also do a specific thing that the others don't. So I need that keyboard, or I need that whatever it is.
Two-part question. What's your all-time favorite keyboard? And then number
Uh huh.
two, the next part of that question is Yamaha Montage or the Nord? So two-part question. We get a little
All right.
spicy with it, you know.
My all time favorite keyboard is a Roland Juno 60.
Is that a keyboard that you would put in a church situation and use it as mains, or you're just saying all-time favorite keyboard in general?
I'm saying all time favorite keyboard in
Okay.
general, but I would use it in church, not as mains because there's no there's no piano, it's nothing like
Right.
that, and there's no MIDI. So
Okay.
I wouldn't use it as a main keyboard, but I would definitely use it in church all day long.
Without a doubt.
It's
Okay.
it's on almost every record I ever do.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? Montage Nord. You said Nord Stage 4?
I haven't played the stage 4 yet, so I don't have an
Okay.
opinion on that. I'm interested to know
Okay.
what that keypad feels like, because I'm a stickler for that. But just we'll say North Stage 3 and the Montage, since they're kind of in the same Montage and Yamaha's working on their own little new
Yeah.
situation that's coming out. So we'll, North Stage 3 or Montage 8.
Uh, I would say, all right, man, that's a tough one, bro. All right, functionality, functionality wise, the montage got it.
Think so.
Functionality wise, you can do more on a montage than you can on a stage 3.
Okay.
Sonically, I'm going to give the edge. Sonically, I'm going to give the edge to the stage 3.
Stage 3. Okay.
That keyboard, yo, that Nord keyboard sounds so good. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
sonically, I don't think there's a better piano like that. I don't think there's a better key. It's almost analog. How warm
Yeah.
and dense it sounds. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's not much you can do with it, right? Like, I mean, you can get busy with it, but the montage is on another level as
And
far as functionality.
you're talking about like, well, I mean, I guess the thing I really appreciate about Nord and its basic functions of most keyboards, like being able to add that delay on the fly, like that tap delay.
Hmm.
You got the room hall reverb
Hmm.
situation going on. Like I like how everything's
Hmm.
right there on the board. I can just click on it versus the montage you have to kind of navigate through and touchscreen. Like I'm not really a fan of that, but I guess I get what you're saying in terms of the functionality and how deep you can go. Like Nord is kind of like what you see is what you get with the pianos. Thankfully, they already sound
Exactly.
good, and you don't have to do a bunch of tweaking and release and cut off and all that. Like,
Exactly, but that's what I mean. Like, I'm not necessarily talking about ease of use or like functionality, as in like I'm not talking about immediacy. I'm
mm-hmm,
talking about what can I do entirely with this keyboard.
yeah.
And I think the montage you can do way more with the keyboard than you can with the stage.
What about Phil? Which keypad do you prefer, Montage
The
or the Nord?
I probably give the edge to the Yamaha
Okay.
as far as feel. The stage 3 feels good. I played at stage 4. I'm holding on to one for a friend of mine. Trying to get it together and get set it up for him. And I've had it since May. He hasn't come get
Wow.
it. I keep telling him like, hey man, when you gonna come get this keyboard? Oh man, let me give you another couple of weeks. I'm busy. All right, cool.
Since May, that's
Um,
wild.
since May, he gave it to me in the box.
That's love.
Like, yeah, he was like, yo, I'm gonna be busy this summer. Hold on to it, and I'll come get it like in August,
That's trust. That's love.
July. And I was like, okay, cool. And I got like August, July, and I'm like, hey man, what you gonna do? He's
Yeah.
like, I'm really busy. Get back to me in September. I saw him 2 weeks ago. I was like, yo man, and he was like, oh man, just I'll get it, man. Don't worry about it. All right, bro. All right.
Right. I'm not gonna
But
beg you for it.
not exactly. But the 4 feels a little bit different than the 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
How would you describe it?
drastically heavier.
Okay, that's not bad. That's
Oh, you liked it? Wait.
Yeah, like I really appreciate the Nord Stage 3 and how like semi-weighted it feels. Love that
Uh-huh.
feel. But I would be interested to know what the Stage 4 feels like, feeling a little bit heavier on the heavier side. Because I know Nord heavy is not rolling heavy, put it that way.
No, exactly, exactly, exactly. So stage four is going to be closer to um, a motif.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
So because the stage three keys feel a little wobbly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Saying,
wobbly. I would just say soft, but I get what you mean by wobbly.
but you feel like you're gonna break it.
Yeah, but you're not though.
Like sometimes I feel like I'm gonna break it. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But yeah, that's I would say the stage four feels a little bit different. Again, it's not super different, but
Hmm.
it's different enough where you can notice like, oh, something's weird. Something feels different.
Yeah, no, that's good. Next question. How do you feel about being called the gospel guy? I know we haven't heard that in a while. But if you watched what is it, Wheatworks productions on YouTube, you probably know that if you were watching by now, you probably figured, oh, this is the gospel guy. I know you hate that term, but what's your thoughts on that?
It's not that I hate the term. It's just that it makes me cringe a little bit because it,
Yeah.
it seems gimmicky.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And Sebastian, he's been knowing me since I was 10, 11 years old, man. I
Yeah.
know he don't mean he's doing it. He's thinking marketing. He's thinking
Yep.
there's a station out in New York called PBS, and he there was a jazz guy who did lessons, and he called himself the jazz guy. And so he
Mm,
was trying to market me, kind of like his thinking for that series was like, yo, this is the guy that will help you with all things gospel. This is the
that makes
gospel guy.
sense.
You know what I
That
mean?
makes sense.
I went along with it, but that's not something that I would name myself. No, that's not a moniker. My name is Randy, and if my name doesn't hold any
Right.
value, then you know what I mean. Like
The prophet
my
guy.
name is my name.
It's like going by the prophet guy or the preacher guy.
My name is my name, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't even call Jesus Christ. We don't. You know what I'm saying? We just call his name.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
My
good.
title or whatever it is ain't really. My name is my name. You know
I
what I
like
mean?
I
So.
like that. My name is my name. So a little segue, and we'll probably end with this right here. And I love this topic when we got to talk about it offline. What led
Mhm.
to a musician such as yourself um retiring from church? Like, we grow up playing in church. We play in church all of our lives. We love it. We have fun. It's great. We get to use our gifts and give it back to God. But what led to you retiring from church as a musician,
Um.
so to speak?
Yeah. Well, first, I will answer the question backwards. There's many ways to give your gift back to the Lord, and
Yes,
not necessarily be in a church. You know what I'm saying?
correct,
Not necessarily be in the corner of
correct.
somebody's church. But to answer your question from the front of it, I wasn't willing to be excellent anymore. I wasn't willing to.
Ooh, self awareness.
I
That's good. Self awareness.
wasn't willing to learn the music. I wasn't willing to go to rehearsal. I didn't want to play another shout. Uh,
I don't know if I've ever
the,
heard anyone be this honest before.
ask. I mean,
Right.
you know,
It's the little
because
kid
I
that
could
ran to the
easily look.
front of the church and said, "I'm tired of this church."
Yo, I word. That's a little kid. It's funny. I wasn't willing to do all of the things that would warrant the church giving me the saints' hard-earned money.
Mm, that's
I
good.
could, I could, I could do the job. I could play. I was good enough to coast, right? I'm good enough to just kind of chill and get the
Yeah.
job done, and I would get paid. But I know I'm not giving the church my best, and the church thinks I'm giving it my best, and I'm not.
Wow.
I'm essentially stealing,
Wow.
right? Because I'm telling the church, yeah, I'm giving you get my best, you get my best, and they're paying me as such, right? And we're talking like, anybody's making, five, six, seven, $800, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, whatever it is a week. When you're earning a solid living and you are not giving the church your best, you stealing
Wow.
because they think they're getting the best of you, and you chilling, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't willing to learn the music. I wasn't willing to do the necessary things to take the music ministry to the next level. I did not care anymore. So that meant
Wow.
time to stop.
And retire forever.
I mean, you know, Mike Jordan said, "You never leave the door closed." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The door's always
Yeah.
open, but no, seriously, I never want to do that again.
Yeah. Wow.
I just don't want to do that again. And I did a little video interview with Sean Wilson, and I was kind of explaining,
I need to
and I
check
got
that out, by the way. I saw some clips from that. I know that video went crazy, but I need to check
yeah,
that out.
I kind of got some pushback from it, and I think the guys and people who were watching it really didn't understand what I was trying to say, and that's a conversation for another time. But
That's good.
why I'm bringing that up is because I had already done the organ thing, right? I
Mm,
had already done the shout, 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 shout thing. I had already done that. And I'm looking for, right, as a pastor, I'm not going to have my church, my wife and I, we're not looking to do that every week.
mm,
There's so much more to music than what did the music sound like before Lawrence Hammond invented the organ?
yeah.
What were we doing then? Right? So it can't, the pinnacle of gospel music or church liturgical music can't be the organ.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be what we know. What we can consider traditional gospel now used to be new. It used to be Oh Happy Day. They were vilified for that record because it was not what was done at that time.
Never knew that.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, go look it up. Right?
I
Like
never knew
they
that.
they killed the Hawkins for that record. They killed them.
Did they said it was
You know
too
what I'm saying?
secular?
Yes, yes, yes,
Mm,
yes. You know what I'm saying? The point is, what is new now, or what is old now, used to be new. So what's new now? You know what I'm saying? And
what's your answer to that?
people are
What's
so,
new now?
you don't want to know. We'd be on another whole another 2 hours, bro.
Ooh.
You know
Ooh.
what I'm saying? But the point is, like, you got to do something that's never been done before, and there are
So
all
here
these tools that are.
and I think we talk about this, not to cut you off, but like conversations like this make me excited. Like me and my other homie, we've talked about it before. We'll use an example of an artist like Ty Tribbett. We know Ty Tribbett was a game changer for the gospel community. His sound is his sound. No one sounds like Ty. You can't recreate what
Mhm.
he's done. No one wants to be a trailblazer setting that new sound up for gospel music, because the thing is, not a lot of people is going to always follow something that sounds different. We as humans, we like new when it makes sense, but if it's too far left, so to speak, not a lot of people is going to grasp it. Like, people don't want that pushback on gospel shouldn't sound like this, or this ain't what I grew up on, so I don't like it. You get what I'm saying?
But see, that's the thing with people. See, my issue is this though. Like, I can understand that thing culturally,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we talking about the Lord,
Yeah.
right? We talk about he's not bigger than the African American community.
Mm.
He's not bigger. Do you think that the only music in heaven is dancing and shouting? Nah, it
Some
can't,
people
can't be
think.
that. That's so small. That's so small minded,
Yeah.
right? Right. Your bishop or your apostle. You think that that's the
The pinnacle.
barometer? Dude, that's crazy,
Yeah, that's good.
right? There's so many other instruments in the world. There's so many other cultures in the world. There's so many other
Mm.
places where they worship, where they express themselves differently. Why would I reduce myself or reduce God's music to just what African Americans can understand or relate
Mm.
to? Nah, I'm not going for that. That's
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 good.
me. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I think what music looks like now, or what music will look like, right? Listen, everybody can say what they want. We don't know when Jesus is coming back. Until he comes back, we're gonna be here. And if we're gonna be here, we need to do something and evolve.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna look at a 50, 60-year-old Hammond organ and be like, that's all there is to it. No,
Mm.
I'm gonna look at this computer. I'm gonna look at this keyboard. I'm gonna look at making my own instrument. You know, David made his own instruments.
Yep, we talked about that. You told me about that. The scripture in the
You
Bible.
feel what I'm saying? I sent it to you, right?
Yep, you sent it. Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So why are we not making our own instruments?
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's so much more to music than just what we be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm just interested in doing something that's a little bit different. And if that means I have to walk away from the keyboard and walk away from the environment and search it out on my own and then tell people, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
Right? And like I said, my wife and I started ministry as a pastor. That we doing all that. I don't want to hear all that other stuff.
Yeah. And
It
you
has
talk
its
about the
place.
shouting, you're talking about the
Yeah.
shouting,
Yo,
the church as we know it in terms of we gonna get here, we gonna have testimony service, we gonna shout, like all of that is good. But what you're saying is God is bigger than the bubble of what we've created to be gospel music and what we've created, what we know it as church. Is that what you're saying?
exactly. And I want more. You see the dude playing the violin?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why we don't do that in church?
Mm. It's too different.
It's too different. But that's a cultural thing. That's not a musical thing. That's not a God thing. That's a
Yeah.
culture thing. And you're gonna reduce me to your culture. No, I'm good. You know
That's good. I love
what
that.
I'm
I
saying?
feel like,
And I wanna see artists, I wanna see people in the church, especially the church that my wife and I established. If we wanna provide a environment where truth meets creativity.
that's good.
Yo, be creative. Just stay with the scripture. Just stay with the Bible. If you can see it in the Bible, if it resembles God, we all for it. There's a time and a place for it. Let's get
Mm-hmm.
it in.
That's
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
As you're talking about
So
that, like these conversations always spark something in me in terms of just thinking like musically, sound design, all that type of stuff. Like just to think outside of the box and not go with the traditional mode as we know it. Because it's easy to copy someone. Let's be honest. Like it's easy to listen to a record and be like, "Ooh, they
that's all we
use
doing.
they use MKS there.
That's
Let
all
me
we
use
doing.
this on my record. They added strings here." And I
That's
think
all we doing.
blueprints are good. Blueprints are amazing. It's amazing to be inspired, but it's also amazing to do what you're talking about, creating your own lane of what does God want me to put back in the earth. It may not be what, such and such did, but what is my unique identity that maybe is influenced by a little bit of West Coast, a little bit of East Coast, but how can I merge this and
100%.
make it new?
Yo, bro, listen. I have so many influences. It's crazy. We talked about Joe Wilson, right?
Yep.
We talked about my cousin Daryl Young. He was my first influence, like him and this guy named Derek Gabo. Those were the two guys at the church. Fantastic musicians, super talented. They were my inspiration as a
Mm-hmm.
young boy. And then Daryl introduced me to Joe Wilson, and Joe Wilson became low key, quiet as it's kept. Everybody's trying to be Joe Wilson, whether they know it or not. He's the progenitor. I'm telling you,
Yeah, I
he's
remember you
the
said that.
guy. Yo, that dude, the stuff he was doing 30, 35 years ago, like people still ain't doing. I don't want to
Yeah.
hear it, right? So, but I'm into Chick and Claire Fisher and Steve Hunt and Russell Ferrante and
Yeah.
Bill Evans and Mike
Bill Evans.
Burrell and
Yeah.
Jason White and Jermaine Nelson and Mike Davis. These are all people, Antoine Barrett, these are all people that had a significant impact on the way I hear and play music,
Mm.
right? But I'm still me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be them. I'm going to take what I like. I spend the time on the instrument and grind it out and figure out and let my voice emerge. You know, Asaph Ward is another one. Like I can't
Crazy.
act like I didn't come from these dudes.
Yeah.
This dude named Bink Dog, a producer. I can't act like I didn't. These dudes didn't. You know what I'm saying? These
Paved the
are
way.
for me as a musician.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I emulated that Rodney Jerkins. I could go on and on and on. You know, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis, Quincy Jones, David Foster. Like all day long, we could do
Yeah.
this. You could if you know your stuff you could hear them in me. You can hear all
Especially if you
those
go
dudes
check
in
out
me.
your latest record, like you can hear so like I love your latest record so much. I had it on repeat when it first came out. It's still in my rotation,
I appreciate that.
but
I appreciate that.
you know what I'm saying? Like that record is sonically, that's one thing we talked about.
Hmm.
Sonically, the mix impeccable. The drums are right out front.
Hmm.
You can hear the synths. You can hear all the nuanced stuff going on. Like I love your record so
Hmm.
much. You're working on something new, kind of segueing a little bit. Still in the same vein of what we're talking about. We'll end with this. I've been seeing you, as I mentioned, on Instagram, working on your latest sounds and stuff like that. I've been
Hmm.
following your sound design for a minute, starting with,
Hmm.
from YouTube and stuff like that. You tweaking out the 3080 and stuff like that. How can
Hmm.
people find your sounds and what can they expect from you in terms of your new sound libraries? Because I know you're not stopping with just your Logic stuff. I know this is going to be something that's just going to keep going and you're going to keep on releasing stuff. So how can people find your sounds and support you?
My website, randyjenkinsmusic.com. Go to my website. Um, yes, I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I got a new album coming out. Should be out in a matter of months. Different type of music than my first album.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my website will be the Instagram. Between my Instagram page and website, you'll find a lot of what's going on with me. Um, I got the Logic thing coming.
Yep.
I got an
I'm excited
Ableton
about that.
thing coming. Um, another Omnisphere thing I'll do. I got some stuff for the Moog One coming. I got some stuff for the Prophet Five coming. Some sample stuff. I'm working on my own actual instrument.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the research and development stage right now, where I'm just asking questions, doing research, figuring out how can I get this sound. And really, my sound libraries or what my approach to sound, I'm just trying to inspire guys to be different. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And I want to give people the building blocks. I want to give people the building blocks. I'm not giving you sounds to play to be like me.
Right.
I'm giving you sounds to let you hear what's possible and inspire you to be like, oh, let me try this. Or let me come
Mm.
up with this. Or he did that. Okay, let me do the same thing, but let me use this instead of that. And then you start seeing your own voice. You start seeing stuff come out of the woodwork for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm all about helping the individual develop. I don't want you to play my stuff and be like me. I want you to see what I'm doing and be like, word, I could do that. Check. That's how he showed me. That's what he showed. Okay, cool. Let me go and do that.
Yeah. That's good.
You know
We
what I mean?
I got to figure out a way to collab with you on like a sound design
Let's
tutorial or
do it.
something like that. Got to figure out
Yo,
how to make it happen because I feel like that I'm in the season of I'm in beginner level of like sound design, figuring it out. I'm starting with like pads and stuff like that. I'm getting really nice, so to speak, with just worship pads and stuff like that.
bro,
But I feel like that
bro,
whole concept is
bro. I'm putting this out here, right? I only speak what I mean, right?
yeah,
Telling you real talk. You can do it any way you want to do it. And I've offered this to other people.
yeah,
You can
yeah,
do it any way you want to do it. You want to come out to the spot, you want to take a trip, you and the wife, come out to the New
yeah.
York area, come past the studio. We'll sit and design some design some sounds, put it on a thing for people to see, like like a tutorial, like a workshop. Like we can do it any way you want. We can collaborate. I'm all about helping the community. Like I'm all about
I was lit.
sharing and growing, and because I'm not going to stop. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
afraid to share what I know because I'm not going to stop going.
Yeah.
So like whoever wants to, let's do it. Let's
What part of New
whatever you
York
want to
are you
do.
in?
I'm 20 minutes from Manhattan. I live
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
live in I live in New Jersey. I grew up in Westchester County, White Plains, New York, which is about 45 minutes north of Manhattan, about an hour from Brooklyn, 25, 30 minutes from the Bronx. But now I live in New Jersey, just off the George Washington Bridge, so I can get to Midtown Manhattan in about 20 minutes with no traffic.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I'm still in the New York area.
May
You
have
know
to
what I
make
mean?
something happen. I think I may be in New York next month, maybe. So
Let's
we'll
do it.
see. We'll
What we
see.
talk about?
I know we'll got to figure something out. I got to figure out what part of New York I'm gonna be in too.
All right, well, let me know, man.
My wife
That's
got some
nothing.
family up there, so we may be taking our vacation
What
up
are we
there.
doing?
So
What
I
are we
know,
talking
right? I know. We got
Come
to
on,
make
bro.
it happen.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, Randy Jenkins, everyone. I'm glad to have you on. We'll have to do another interview or something like this and bring you back on.
Anytime.
I love conversation like this, so it's always dope.
Anytime, bro. You already
Yes,
know.
sir. Well, appreciate you,
man.
my brother.
Take care, man.
Yes, sir. Much love.